You said you're a transportation engineer, so let's talk about that. What does a transportation engineer do on a day-to-day basis?
Let's say we're building a Target or a Kmart down the street, and we're in a rural area. And the first thing is, well, if you're going to build a large shopping complex with a Target or big box retail, it will generate some traffic coming into your neighborhood. So we have to, before building this large retail, obviously we have to do a traffic study. And within this traffic study, we call it environmental impact studies. So basically it says, okay, we'll build this Target here. How much traffic will that generate from all parts of the area? How much will it affect all the neighborhoods? Will it cause congestion on the highway or the ramp or even the local streets? So basically we do a traffic count, we run a couple models, and we predict what will the traffic cause, what will the traffic from the big box retail have an effect in the neighborhood. So basically is, if there is an impact in this neighborhood, we as traffic engineers try to come up with a mitigation measure. Basically is, how can we improve these roadways or the traffic signal timing or egress or ingress of the area to make the traffic flow much better? Basically, the client is paying for us to do these type of studies and to present it to your local community to get that approved. I had the experience from doing these all types of environmental impact studies, but as my life career went through, I found a niche that I actually enjoy, which is actually programming the signal timing in these signal controllers. So I use interesting models like Synchro, a little bit of Vism, but I use more big data analytics. So what that means is I have remote access to these traffic signal controllers on the roadway, and if incidents come up or better coordination or progression, and what I mean by that is when the light turns green at one signal, will I get that green light down the pipeline through a whole corridor of other signals to get through where I need to do, instead of the stop and go, and that causes a lot of frustration for a lot of drivers. So my job is to make sure that that progression is secured for those motorists, but also cater to the people who are feeding into this corridor too, like we call the side streets. Doing signal timing changes real time or assessing them, I feel like I'm providing more immediate need to the society or to the motorist. So it's instant gratification. When I do these environmental impact studies a while back, it looks like we had to do some studies, we had to go through a process. So your project, if it gets approved, may not be breaking ground 5 or 10 years down the line. So most of the projects that I worked on, they're probably built or starting to build, or maybe they were denied. So some of the efforts there that you work hard on, sometimes they go through and some of them don't. So I guess now, as I work in the signal timing area of traffic signals, I find a little bit more gratitude to see that, things I could do and change immediately is more gratifying for me.
Sounds like something a city engineer would do. Are you working with the city on this project?
No, I work for a semi-private organization in which that is the Port Authority. So basically, they get their funds from tunnels and bridges, aviation. So basically, your ticket prices, a little bit of that money goes into that, or luggage as well. So, or even when you park at the airport. So that kind of money feeds into there, but it does get some federal subsidy there to make their project. So Port Authority handles tunnels and bridges. They handle aviation like JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark Airport. They also take care of all the bridge and tunnels that cross the Hudson River. So if I didn't tell you before, I live in the New York City vicinity, but I live in the suburbs. But Port Authority is a conglomerate of more New York and New Jersey entities or agencies. So they work together with their facilities at these areas. But not only that is the tunnel and bridges and aviation, and it's also the ports. So all the cargo that comes into the New Jersey area and distributes to all the goods on the East Coast, Port Authority has some stake in that, in making sure that cargo ships that travel overseas, make sure that the trucks come in and deliver all the goods to the big box retails or to whatever stores they need to be. So, as well as your FedEx and Amazon. So it's on there, and cars as well.
And in terms of software, I think I heard you say that you use obviously big data. A lot of data comes in with probably a lot of sensors that are out there, and then some custom softwares that are built specifically for doing transportation planning and engineering. Um,
Yes.
is there something that you would like to tell a college graduate who's looking into getting into this field? What should they focus on? What should they know? Is there something specific course wise that they should focus on while they're in college? Do you have some advice for people who are trying to get into this field?
One thing that I recommend for people is to get more public speaking skills and to build more of personal relationship skills, actually. I finally realized in my late age, maybe for the past 10 years, it is really important to develop this communication skills and writing skills, to be honest with you, because in the way you present yourself to other people, it builds trust, and you think you're honest. So the one thing that I really recommend is make sure you bone up on your communication and personal skills with other folks, because I think it's very important. And always put yourself out there, to be honest with you. I just realized I was good at number crunching and I was just more of like a soldier taking orders. But as I progressed through my life, I think I slowly realized that I had a skill, an interpersonal skill with other folks to help me build where I am, which I'm very happy to say is like, I'm glad to go to work the next day.